Tonight on The Real Review.
Harry Potter and Company battle the demons of Hogwarts in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Childhood friends pay a steep price for romance in Love Me If You Dare.
Fundamentalist education airs its dirty laundry in Saved.
The big bad wolf of American industry bears its fangs in The Corporation.
Shrek and his Princess Fiona struggle with their happily ever after in Shrek 2.
Hi, I'm Tim Sika.
And I'm Jeanne Aufmuth.
It's a delectable sampling of early summer fare tonight on The Real Review.
13-year-old Harry Potter is comfortably ensconced back at Hogwarts after spending a miserable summer at the home of the dysfunctional Dursleys. But news of impending doom fills the air. The menacing and enigmatic wizard Sirius Black has escaped from Azkaban prison and is allegedly searching for Harry. With the vicious Dementors guarding the gates of Hogwarts, eerie encounters with moonstruck professors, an enchanted Marauders map to decipher, and a Quidditch championship to defend, adolescent Harry has got a lot on his magical mind. Welcome back to the wonderful world of author J.K. Rowling in Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
Exactly what is that?
That, Ron, is a hippogriff. Now, who'd like to come and say hello? Well done, Harry. Well done. Come on now. Step up. You can go and pat him now. Go on. Don't be shy. Oh, not so fast, Harry. Slow down, Harry. That's it. You know, slowly, slowly. That's it. Yes! Well done! Oh, well done, Harry! Well done! Ray, let you ride him now.
What?
Come on.
Hey!
Over here. Just
Hagrid.
behind the wing joint. Don't pull out any of his feathers, because he won't thank you for that.
I want to get me one of those birds there, hippogriffs or whatever. You know, I'm not a big Harry Potter fan, but you know that.
Me neither.
However, I think this one's going to be my window into the whole series of movies. I like this a lot. It was surprisingly dark. I mean, even the Quidditch match is during an electrical storm.
I know.
And that great night bus ride. It was beautifully shot. It was interesting. It was complicated. It was complex. There were, in some scenes, there were 3 or 4 different things going on at once, and I liked that. I was surprised. I was going thinking.
Okay, well, me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Of course we were going and thinking, because the first one, second one was an amusement park ride.
Yeah.
I think there are 2 reasons I think this worked. I agree with you completely. In fact,
Yeah.
I'm really thrilled about this movie. Alfonso Cuarón is the #1 reason. Y tu mama también, and A Little Princess. He's got vision, he's got edge, he's very dark. That's reason #1. Great direction. #2,
Yeah.
they're teenagers now. This was sort of a rite of passage movie, a coming of age movie. There was a lot
Yeah.
of subtle, just subtext about growing into a man, growing into a woman. I thought this was terrific.
Yeah,
From start to finish.
I even thought there was something maybe going on between Hermione and Ron Weasley.
Yeah.
I mean, at least that was the implication. Did you
Yes,
get that
it was,
too?
of course, yeah.
Do you think we should get a little closer and he's looking at it to the building?
I haven't read the book. I've read
Yeah,
the
me
first
neither.
book, and so I don't know
I'm
where
told
that's
that's
going.
not in there, but I thought it made for
Okay.
an interesting movie.
Plus,
watching.
talk about a movie moment. Remember in Heat when you've got Al Pacino and Robert De Niro together, you know, in the same room, powerhouse moment. I felt that way about David Thewlis and Gary Oldman together in a room. It's just there was so much acting power and chops there. And I was
I didn't
very
even
excited.
realize that that was Gary Oldman until like the last 20 minutes.
He plays Sirius Black.
Yeah, but he was so into that role, as he is with
So
everything. He's a
good.
chameleon. He becomes the part.
Special effects, incredible. That flying scene, the Quidditch match, the Marauders map. Over the top.
Emma Thompson. You know, when I first saw the first film, the little girl that plays Hermione, I said, that's probably what Emma Thompson was like when she was a kid. And Emma Thompson appears, she's what
She's the moon
divination
strippy-
through tea
yeah,
leaves
yeah.
or something.
No, it was.
What a great performance.
This was
and
great.
Julie Christie pops up out of nowhere.
Michael Gambon
right?
as Dumbledore. Because,
Taking Richard Harris's place, yeah.
So anyway, okay, we
I
both
think
like it. I
we're
was so thrilled.
same
I
page,
so
yeah.
didn't expect to like it. So it's an enthusiastic 3.5 ticket stubs for me.
Ditto for me, 3.5 ticket stubs. Love Me If You Dare is part ultramodern cartoon fairy tale, part bold psychological probe into the games we play in life and love. Friends since childhood, Julianne, played by Guillaume Canet, and Sophie, played by Marion Cotillard, find solace from their troubles by engaging each other to commit audacious acts by playing a perpetual game of dare. As they grow into adulthood, they find themselves unable to stop the game's mad, wild, and often destructive rush, and the uncompromising childlike nature of their game, which has become something far larger and more thrilling than the sad and disappointing world around them, comes into question. From France, where it was the #1 box office hit, comes Love Me If You Dare.
Sinon, lundi, je termine à 19h, on repasse plus tard.
Oh, bah, je repasse plus tard.
Oui, non, en fait, je prends mon cours de chant après.
Ah bon, tu chantes?
Bah oui, tu vois, ça c'est pas ma vie, c'est juste un job. Ça correspond sûrement pas à l'idée que tu te faisais du héros qui vient de sauver du naufrage, hein. Désolée, mais pendant toutes ces années, j'ai vécu. C'est bizarre, non?
Je me faisais aucune idée. Je suis ravi d'apprendre que tu prends des cours de chant. Tu veux devenir chanteuse?
Ça, c'est tout toi, hein. La rentabilité avant tout. Je prends des cours de chant, donc je veux devenir chanteuse. Toi, quand tu files 100 balles contre la famine en Éthiopie, c'est pour devenir Mère Teresa? Puis merde, j'avais dit que je te parlais pas, tu vois, je dis que des conneries, là. C'est tes pompes, ton froc, ça me déconcentre. Allez, laisse-moi bosser.
Bonjour.
Bonjour,
Ça va?
va très bien et vous?
Ça va. Bon, je peux t'inviter au resto maintenant?
Non.
Tu vas où là?
Pose-moi une question, t'auras plus de réponses.
Tu m'as dit que tu finissais à 19h lundi.
On est mardi.
Oh, I just, okay. This is what we do.
Tell me
Talk
what
about
you
the
really
movies.
think.
Yeah. I really like this movie,
Yeah.
but this is one of those movies that has stuck with me. It's disturbing.
Yeah.
It really pushes the boundaries of what's appropriate to dare someone and how far you will go. And I just really, there were times I found myself very uncomfortable. Love the style, the Amelie-like thing, kind of the fantasy thing. It's a really good movie. I'm just telling you, it's vaguely disturbing
That's
to
so
me.
good that it was uncomfortable. It's
Yes,
good to get uncomfortable.
Of course it is, and it's good to keep thinking about a movie. I mean, I didn't forget this movie. Okay.
I agree with you. I thought it was a wild ride. It was way out there. What did the director said that he was influenced by 3 films in this movie: Trainspotting, The Fight Club, and Mary Poppins. He's the first director that I've ever talked to that ever admitted to a Walt Disney influence. But I think in terms
wow.
of the
I have to
fantasy
think about
type,
that.
the
Yeah.
fantasy type elements. But what I found so interesting about this movie is these people. I don't know what you would clinically say that what it was that they were doing. I mean, we set it up that their relationship was based on this game of dare, where they would keep pushing themselves into doing certain things, supposedly in the name of love.
All through childhood,
All
all
through
through
the thing.
adulthood, then through marriage.
It almost
10
seems
years.
psychotic, but did you?
Yes, psychotic.
I hope I'm not giving anything away, but the relationship. Did they ever have sex in this movie? I don't think so.
No.
I think it was platonic. Which
was
put a
leading up
whole,
to that,
which
right?
Put, I don't know. Which put a whole different interesting spin on it. But by the time it was over, I was surprised, not being able to relate to these people at all, how moved I was by the resolution, which was suitably and appropriately ambiguous. But I almost wiped out in the theater. I was so sad.
Yeah, no, it's very, very sad. And it's also sad for the peripheral characters, which I had a hard time with. These people are
Yeah,
apart for
the
10
parents and
years.
yeah.
The parents, the other spouses, the lives that they have made, and they always have a thing for each other. I mean, from the beginning, even the childhood stuff was uncomfortable and And cruel. It was cruel. I think that's the word. There was a lot of cruelty in this, and I had a hard time with it, although I appreciate someone going out on a limb like this, a filmmaker going out on a limb.
What was cruel? They were cruel to each other. They were cruel to the people around them.
Both.
Yeah.
And, their dares, okay, cruel. Here, I'm just going to talk about this scene quickly. He gets her into the restaurant, and she thinks he's proposing to her.
Yeah.
He's actually, asking her to, give the ring to his fiance, and he gets her there under false pretenses. That's cruel. He's toying with her emotions. That's where I had a problem.
But it's an agreed upon game thing, so I don't know if it's cool. I mean, so they agreed to those rules.
It obviously works because it bothers me.
Yeah, but very, very provocative. I'm giving it an enthusiastic 3.5 ticket stubs.
Okay, I'm giving it 3 ticket stubs. I really liked it, but just had a little problem here and there. Okay, we'll be back with 2 more movies. They are Saved and The Corporation. Stay with us.
Now showing this week on the Media Center. Attention sports fans. The Media Center presents the premiere of West Bay Game of the Week, a regional collaboration bringing you high school and collegiate sports from the entire West Bay region. Premiering Sundays at 8 p.m. and an encore presentation Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The Media Center's News Watch brings you in-depth analysis of local news, politics, and world issues. Wednesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. on The Media Center, serving the Mid-Peninsula community.
It's the age-old story, the popular high school ringleader stringing along her disciples no matter what the cost. Hillary Fay is the queen bee, an influential senior at American Eagle Christian High School and president of the Christian Jewels, which loosely translates into too cool for me and you. Hillary Fay is all sunshine and light and spouting spite in the name of God, until she butts up against good girl and best friend Mary, who takes the news of her boyfriend's homosexuality with such grace and good faith that she tries to cure him by offering the gift that keeps on giving, her virginity, which in turn leads to an unwanted pregnancy, Hillary Fay's wrath, and the dreaded social ostracism. Mandy Moore and Jenna Malone star in Saved.
Come on. In the name of Jesus Christ, I command you, leave the body of this servant of God. You're performing an exorcism? Yes, get off me. Hey, Mary, you've got to get rid of the evil in you.
It's God's will. God's will. Christ died for your sins.
Okay, wait a second. So are you not going to accept our intervention here?
Kidnapping? No.
You are backsliding into the flames of hell.
You've become a magnet for sin. We've all witnessed it.
Yes.
Sure. Veronica acting all pure. What about last spring break at the Promise Makers Rally, huh?
Oh, my God. You are making accusations as we're trying to save your soul. Mary, turn away from Satan. Jesus, he loves you.
You don't know the first thing about love.
I am filled with Christ's love. God, you are just jealous of my success in the Lord.
This is not a weapon, you idiot.
If Hillary Fay were around to save all of our souls, wouldn't we have a better world? I like this film a lot. It didn't go far enough for me, but I thought it was an affectionate jabbing of extremist religionists, and it worked for me on just about every level.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I want to know what you mean by didn't go far enough for you. I really liked it too.
I didn't think it was vicious enough.
Oh,
yeah. I didn't.
Like Heather's.
Yeah.
It could have gone to Heather's and maybe
it's
election.
It's almost like they felt that they made their point, but they wanted to sort of soften it a bit because they didn't want to alienate the very people that they were criticizing. But the criticism to me was based on a lot of facts.
Oh, yeah. Or they didn't want to criticize too much because of Mandy Moore. They want to keep her fan base happy. I don't know.
Good performance by Mandy Moore.
Very
by the
good
way.
performance.
Yeah.
My complaint would be, and it's a slight one because I really liked the movie, it got a little preachy at the end, and that's where it softened up. I thought, ooh, it looks like it's kind of a narrative cop-out. Is it going to really now say that the poking fun was not poking fun? It just got preachy. a little
Preachy how? You
preachy.
mean the
Oh, everyone kind of coming together, and they were saying, no, kind of religion is good, but it wasn't as funny at the end. It sort of seemed like they were serious, whereas before they were really poking fun. Like in this clip, they were really poking fun when she throws the Bible at her.
It says, "I'm filled with Christ's love."
Yeah. And there was a lot of that, and that was funny. And Mandy Moore and Jenna Malone play very well off one another. Macaulay Culkin in the wheelchair is Mandy Moore's brother. Excellent, excellent. I mean, it was a funny movie. I think it did cop out a little at the end. That bothered me.
I didn't think the seriousness was a cop out, because I think that's what they were building towards. But
I know, but don't.
I needed more viciousness in its attacks on religion. The only thing that I wish they would have put, it was Christopher Hutchins. He writes for the New York Times. He said that people that subscribe to that degree to religion have serious neurological disorders. I mean, I wish they would have had. Although I will say the one line when they see her go to the Planned Parenthood thing, and the one girl says, "There's only one reason why a Christian girl would be going to a Planned Parenthood place," and Macaulay Culkin says, "What? Because she's planted a time bomb to go off." I mean, I wish the whole movie would have been a little more pointed like that.
Well, it should have been. Like, that's what I mean by narrative cop out. It didn't stay consistent, and that bothered me.
But as a mainstream movie that introduced a lot of really good ideas, made people look at their intolerance in a kind of funny, healthy way.
Let's kick it Jesus style.
Yeah,
that was funny.
It was smart. It was interesting. It brought up a lot of issues. Really, the bottom line is I thought it was pro-faith. It was pro-religion, and the question, what would Jesus really do? That's really what the movie's all about.
Yeah.
Not what we think. That we necessarily think, but it's open for discussion, and it's a gray area.
Well,
it's
we
not
have
black
Mel
and white.
Gibson to thank for making Jesus, box office gold. So.
Hey, great double feature, The Passion and Same. Yeah, there you go.
Ticket
So
stubs?
I'm giving it an enthusiastic 3.5.
Wow, you're on a roll.
Yeah, I am.
I'm at 3. I really liked it, but didn't like the ending.
Fair enough. The Corporation, based on Joel Bacon's book, The Corporation, The Pathological Pursuit of Profit and Power, seeks to examine the way in which corporations function, their impact on the world of today, and what could conceivably be in store for our global future. This complex and exhaustive documentary takes an incisive look at the far-reaching repercussions of the increasing global dominance of corporations, examines their uninhibited pursuit of the profit margin, and observes the innumerable, inevitable consequences that follow from this goal. Featuring interviews with Noam Chomsky, Howard Zinn, Naomi Klein, Maud Barlow, Mark Kingwell, and Fahrenheit 911's Michael Moore, The Corporation charts the spectacular rise of an institution aimed at achieving specific economic goals, but it also recounts victories against this apparently invincible force. Winner of the Best Documentary World Cinema Audience Award at the 2004 Sundance Film Festival, and the most popular Canadian film at the Vancouver International Film Festival 2003, and co-directed by Mark Akbar and Jennifer Abbott, the film is The Corporation.
It's a fair assumption that every human being, real human beings, flesh and blood ones, not corporations, but every flesh and blood human being is a moral person. We've got the same genes, we're more or less the same, but our nature, the nature of humans, allows all kinds of behavior. I mean, every one of us, under some circumstances, could be, a gas chamber attendant and a saint.
No job, in my experience with Goodyear, has been as frustrating as the CEO job, because even though the perception is that you have absolute power to do whatever you want, the reality is you don't have that power. Sometimes, if you had really a free hand, if you really did what you wanted to do that suits your personal thoughts and your personal priorities, you'd act differently. But as a CEO, you cannot do that. Layoffs have become so widespread that people tend to believe that CEOs make these decisions without any consideration to the human implications of their decisions. It is never a decision that any CEO makes lightly. It is a tough decision. But it is the consequence of modern capitalism.
Oh, I don't even
Rock
know
my
where to
world,
begin.
huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is, talk about disturbing. This is really, this just makes you feel like you want to go back 300 years to the old cart and pony days.
It makes you feel like you want to leave the planet, but there's nowhere to go.
Yeah,
That's what
because
it
it's
made
all
me feel.
incorporated.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
no,
all owned.
yeah,
Private
it really
ownership.
is. This is very, very profoundly disturbing and very well done. Long, over 2 hours,
Yeah, almost
2.5
2.5
hours. Yeah.
Yeah.
But very, very deep, studied in depth, well edited. It's great. It's a great movie. It's not like hugely excitingly entertaining, but it's very gripping.
It got me when and this is in the Chomsky book, when they because the corporation, according to the 14th Amendment, is classified as a person. Chomsky forwards this argument where he has the person of the corporation being clinically diagnosed through its actions and stuff, and what do they come up with? That the corporation would is a psychopath.
Yeah.
Is a psychopath, and then from there they go on to say all the things that they're doing, and they somehow seem to separate their personal responsibility from the actions and responsibility of the
corporation as a person.
It's so disturbing. But there is one, silver lining is the guy, the carpet manufacturer.
Do you love that guy?
Who retweaked his whole company to make all of what he does. It's based on sustainable principles for the future.
He was the saving grace of the movie.
That was it. Otherwise, the movie would have been unwatchable because, like I said, it makes you want to go to Mars or something.
You'd have to throw yourself off a bridge. That guy really made you believe that there was hope, that people would see the light. Who was this guy? He's a carpet manufacturer from Georgia or something. Great accent, but this should be, all school kids should see this movie. All high schoolers should see this movie. It should just be required viewing.
And the fact that every living system on the planet is in decline and is continuing in decline. Is pretty serious stuff. And this is an alarmist perspective. It's just sort of straight, factual. 1, 2, 3, and it was
heavy duty.
Heavy duty, very memorable. Worth seeing more than twice, actually.
Okay, take it, Stubbs.
I'm giving it an enthusiastic 3.5. I know, here we are again with this. I am 3.5.
Okay, I'm giving it 3. I really liked it, but it's just a little on the dry side.
Okay. Oh boy, dry. So you need what, like donuts and coffee with
Harry
your
Potter.
corporation, right? Okay, we'll be right back with Shrek 2 coming up.
Now showing this week on the Media Center. Attention sports fans. The Media Center presents the premiere of West Bay Game of the Week, a regional collaboration bringing you high school and collegiate sports from the entire West Bay region. Premiering Sundays at 8 p.m. and an encore presentation Tuesdays at 6:30 p.m. The Media Center's News Watch brings you in-depth analysis of local news, politics, and world issues. Wednesdays and Thursdays at 6 p.m. on The Media Center, serving the Mid-Peninsula community.
It's the ubiquitous after to the happily ever after. Shrek and his Princess Fiona are living in a suspended state of matrimonial joy, joined at the hip at Hansel's honeymoon hideaway and reveling in their newly wedded bliss. Arriving in the kingdom of far, far away in a hail of confetti and hurrahs, the newlyweds discover that home is not exactly a bed of roses. Fiona's folks are disappointed in their monstrous son-in-law and horrified by Fiona's appearance, a grass-pallid ogress who beautifully complements her prince's large and sickly greenness. In the wings, Fiona's fairy godmother has hatched a diabolical scheme of her own to thwart Fiona's marriage to Shrek and hitch her to the sleekly handsome Prince Charming. The voices of Mike Myers, Eddie Murphy, and Cameron Diaz star in the animated conjugal comedy sequel, Shrek 2.
Bon appetit. Oh, Mexican food. My favorite.
Well, let's not just sit here with our tummies rumbling. Everybody dig in.
Don't mind if I do, Lillian.
So, I suppose any grandchildren I could expect from you would be...
Ogres. Yes.
Not that there's anything wrong with that. Right, Harold?
Oh, no, of course not. That is assuming you don't eat your own young.
Dad?
Oh, no, we usually prefer the ones who've been locked away in a tower.
Shrek, please.
I only did that because I love her.
Oh, aye. Daycare or dragon-guarded castle?
You wouldn't understand. You're not her father.
It's so nice to have the family together for dinner. Harold!
Shrek! Fiona!
Mom! Harold!
Donkey!
Jesus, like Meet the Parents.
Yeah.
I thought this was a very worthy sequel to the first one.
Definitely.
And you know, it had all the elements. It was very subversive. Which I would love to tell everybody right now what Pinocchio's secret is, but I dare not. I mean, didn't that just completely slay you? And then the prince. It's like, what's going on with the prince? And then I thought Rupert Everett's doing the voice. It's like there's something going on here.
Oh, for sure.
But very funny, very fast. We saw in the clip, very fast
Almost
paced.
too fast. Don't
Yeah,
you feel like
almost
you
too.
missed a lot?
Yeah.
I definitely missed a lot.
Absolutely.
You have to see it twice.
Julie Andrews and John Cleese, which I thought, I mean, for my money, I would have liked to have seen their roles a little more developed. I thought their parts were kind of underdeveloped. And if you're going to get people that classy, I think they should have given them more to do. But that's carping.
No,
you know, the movie was
great.
The movie was funny and had less potty humor than the first one.
Thank God,
which
because
was
you know
for
I
me
hate
was
that.
yeah.
I don't like bathroom humor at all.
I think, go ahead. I was going to say that the tone of subversiveness is what I love about the Shrek movies.
Yeah,
This even more so. It's
I
it's
don't
almost
think
like
this is a
everybody are
children's movie.
closet queens in this movie.
Do you think this is a children's movie? Because
No.
you know how
No.
I think the original, and this is the
But
case.
the kids they're not going to notice that.
No, but I mean, I think it's so subversive that maybe the kids won't even think it's funny. I know some adults who were very immature, and I won't name them on the air, I'll tell you after, who hated this movie.
As long as you tell me after.
Who didn't like this movie, and I realize it's because they're very childish, and it's not a childish movie. I really appreciate them. I think it has a more human aspect because now they're married. Before it was a fairy tale. They're married, they're meeting the parents, the in-laws, there's all that. It's very human as opposed to fairy tale. It's kind of dark, too.
And the fairy godmother, voiced by Jennifer Sander, what a complicated, interesting. The performance was amazing, but the character was astonishing. And then Antonio Banderas' Puss in Boots was brilliant.
So brilliant,
absolutely brilliant. Yeah, but I think you're absolutely right. I never thought of it before. I don't think it's a children's movie.
It is not.
And kids are going to enjoy it because it's colorful and it's fast, and there's some kind of
you know
little
how
bit
much
of
is
potty
going to fly
but
over?
most of that stuff's going to fly
most
right
of
past
the movie.
them. Yeah, you're
most
right. It's an adult. It is an adult movie,
which you know works for us. I mean,
cause to celebrate.
You know, snaps to PDI. It looks great. In the how many years has it been? 2 years maybe since the last one. The animation just that much crisper. The faces move really believably. You know, there's nothing not to like. I don't think I can ever completely. There's something about these where I don't want to like top 10 list.
I think it's the technology. There's
it's
a weird.
off-putting a little.
Well, you've got to sort of turn your head around to sort of go with the technology because it's not natural.
Yeah, it is
it's not
natural
in the same that regular film is because it's a new look and feel.
Maybe that's
and
what it
movement.
is.
That's my theory
distancing.
anyway. But what do we do?
Okay, 3.5 ticket stubs.
Well, stuck in my groove and being consistent for the whole. I'm giving it 3.5.
5 for 5.
5 for 5. I know that's a first for me.
And on that note, it's time to wrap it up. Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban. Both Tim and I thrilled to its edge and the slick special effects. It's my hot ticket, and Tim is very surprisingly at 3.5 ticket stubs.
Love Me If You Dare. I found it to be a strange, colorful, and deeply moving original love story. Jeanne was a little more uncomfortable with it, but she liked it almost as much as I did. 3.5 ticket stubs for me and 3 from Jeanne.
Save. Both Tim and I enjoyed the sad stab at religious satire, though it might not have been vicious enough. It's 3 ticket stubs from me and 3.5 from Tim.
The Corporation is an honest, depressing, yet ultimately hopeful documentary on the American corporation. This film is too important for me not to highly recommend it and make it my hot ticket for the week. Jeanne liked it too. She thought it was a little dry, but liked it nonetheless. 3 ticket stubs from Jeanne and surprise, 3.5 from me.
Shrek 2. There's nothing to dislike here. It's good on all levels, although I think we both felt it's a little too adult for a kiddie film. It's 3.5 ticket stubs from me and 3.5 from Tim. That wraps it up for another fabulous edition of The Real Review.
Can I tell you what my favorite line from all the movies that we reviewed is?
Please do.
Remember, Jeanne, you're not born gay, you're born again.
Okay.
From Save.
Okay.
I just had to say that.
Thank you from Tim.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm Jeanne Aufmuth.
And I'm
yes?
Tim Sika.
See you next time.
Bye.